Alright, hello and welcome to Downstage Gaming. I am your host, Josh, and you have reached the B-sides of our Let's Play of the Letter. That's right, this is part 1 of our B-sides playthrough. Now, what does that mean? That means that we have already gone through 50 parts of the Letter in our Let's Play. We went through and played as every character in every chapter, and I made my choices as I saw fit. I chose the things that I thought was best at the time. Some of them were good, some of them were perhaps not good. But those choices, because of the way that this game is and its massive branching, I mean, there's a lot of things we still have not seen. So, we are, in this playthrough, going to play through from the beginning again, skipping any dialogue that we have already seen. And anytime we get to a choice, we are going to make the opposite choice that I made the last time. Anytime there's something new that we haven't seen, we'll be going through that like normal. And any choice that I haven't seen because of previous choices I've made leading to new choices that I've not made, I'm going to treat that just like I did my first playthrough, where I'll just make the best choice that I think at the time. So, what that's going to mean is that for these first couple chapters, probably going to be a lot of skipping around. I mean, there's going to be some new stuff for sure, but like Isabella and Hannah are both probably going to have a good amount of stuff where we're just scooping right along. It's probably going to go pretty quick. But once we get to like Becca, Ash, Luke, I think things are going to be quite different, and we're going to put a bit of meat to see that's different there. So obviously, if for some reason you've wandered in here and have not seen 50 parts of the initial Let's Play of the Letter, please go watch that stuff first, because we are coming in here with that context. I'm going to be talking with all the knowledge that I have of that first playthrough, and again, obviously, we're going to be skipping anything that we've already seen. So if you don't have that context, this is probably not going to make a lot of sense. But with all that being said, let's get right into it, shall we? Oh, Jesus Christ. I forgot how good the opening little... Jesus. Alright, well here we go. Back to our first little bit here, where they give us a basic history and then tell us good luck. for all the good it did. We got Isabella talking to Rose, and then here meeting Becca in class. And as we all famously remember, last time we went with, "You're not my mom, Becca," and she didn't really like that. So, you know what, Becca? I eat other things too. Despite all the things on my desk in my room, there are some other foods that I eat.
Hey, I eat other things too.
Look at that. Finally doing something positive with this relationship. Okay. I don't think we ever actually read Isabella's profile last time, so let's just real quick go through this. She's the third child among 7, daughter of a laundrywoman and a jeepney driver. She went to a public school and was an average student, but took to art easily. Eventually, she pursued a degree in fine arts, as encouraged by her father. However, when the man was diagnosed with a terminal illness, she had to stop studying to make money. It was Isabella's aunt who helped her get work overseas in order to earn more money than any local job could get her. Rose Cooper became her mentor as soon as she started as an agent at BRC. It's been 5 years since she met her neighbor Rebecca. She met Ashton during an unfortunate incident involving her first sale at Devlin Court, and later Zachary through him. Alright. A lot of that, I think, we got picked up through that first playthrough, but it's good to know. I fold my arms across my chest, mimicking her posture and giving her the best frown I can muster, the same one I'd use with my younger siblings when they're being difficult. Instead, she only raises an eyebrow at me.
That's not going to work on me. And I saw it when you were cleaning your flat last week.
Yeah, it is pretty obvious if you go into your room, Isabella.
The instant noodle cups outnumber everything else.
You're just exaggerating. Did you even see what's in my cupboard yet?
There's a can of soup in there that has been there for 2 years.
I'm not just living on instant noodles alone. I've got canned beans, peas, tuna, ham, and even hamburgers in there.
In a cupboard? Becca's wrinkling her nose by the time I get to the end of the small list. She even went a little green on the last one. I would have laughed a little at that, but I didn't know it would only lead to more reprimands from her.
Aren't those the same ones you won from the grocer's raffle more than a year ago? I sincerely hope you're checking the date stamps on those things before eating them. I don't want a repeat of last year.
What happened last year, Becca?
In any case, those are still not exactly healthier choices, Belle.
She shakes her head, possibly laughing at some distant memory. When she looks up, I immediately brace myself. More words from her. Sometimes it's just better to let Becca talk until she's out of things to say. But when she turns her attention back to me, there is only warmth in her smile.
What am I going to do with you?
Okay, so we skipped a tiny bit there. So the setting that I have to this is to skip, and then anytime there's unread text, it will stop again. She says this more to herself than me, her voice shifting to something kinder, even motherly, if I'm looking for the exact word. So when you don't call her mom, she becomes more mom. I see how it is.
I hope you know that it's impossible not to worry about you when you're like this. You don't have to keep eating the same thing. Didn't I tell you before? You're always free to reheat my leftovers.
That is quite kind.
Thanks, Becca. I really appreciate it, but you don't need to keep babying me.
Alright, here we go. Whee! Alright, so we make our way to BRC. We talk with Ashton about meeting up later. We head into the mansion. And we can't find Rose. We try calling, and we think the phone says that she's in the attic. So we go to the attic. We find the letter. The letter really freaks us out. I laugh because it says send this to 5 people, and that's hilarious. And here we are back here. Let's get our nice picture here. There we go. Now, last time, we were brave, and we looked up to see what this hideous creature was. This time, we're just gonna close our eyes and pray. Here we go. I shut my eyes tight, muttering fervent prayers under my breath.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
It feels like we're just gonna die right here if this is the choice, though. Prayers taught to me as a child by Mama and my Papa still slip out endlessly through my teeth. Because God, oh God, if you have to listen to any of my prayers, please listen to this one. And if God doesn't listen, at least I won't see the thing that kills me. A cold comfort. I wait some more. But when nothing happens, I dare to take a peek. Only to find that the ghost, the thing, whatever it is gone. Relief washes over me as I shakily get up to my feet and back away towards the door. That's interesting. That's quite an interesting difference here. We're not going to have any sight of the ghost here. That really changes sort of the foundational belief that I would have in believing Isabella here. Like, had I done this in my first playthrough, I would have been like, oh, yeah, it's a trick of the light or whatever. You know, you saw something that you thought but wasn't actually real. Huh. Wrenching it open, I slip out without a second thought and make a run for it, down the stairs and onto the hallway. I take a look back to make sure it isn't behind me. Any other person might have stopped, dismissed it as a trick of the lights and an overactive imagination. Who would do that? What kind of rude person? But I am not taking any chances. I'm not giving that thing another chance to catch me off guard. I don't think I'll ever feel safe until I get out of here. Whatever that is, every warning bell in my mind is telling me that it's going to jump out at any moment and get me while I'm still in this place.
I told them! I freaking told them! Oh man, oh man, oh man!
Racing down the stairs, a breathy laugh escapes me, and my shoe slips and I find myself falling. Until my back hits the ground and pain racks my body. My head grows fuzzy, my vision dims as I fight to stay conscious.
Go away.
Okay, alright, so we still do end up knocking ourselves out and getting to see at least the feet. Alright. There we go. I don't know what happened there. Alright, skipping ahead. So, we get woken up by Rose and Marianne here. We're meeting for the first time. Okay, so suddenly Rose nudged me with her elbow. Last time we checked with our supervisor, which impressed Marianne and made us look somewhat professional. This time we're gonna say, I don't know.
We're sorry, ma'am. We don't really know what's going on here. If it's okay, maybe we can...
No, it's not okay. Marianne hates this.
Aren't you the ones in charge here? How can you not know what's going on here?
You see, Miss McCullough, right now the house is...
Amazing how she can keep her voice level, yet still convey utter displeasure with it. I've dealt with people acting the opposite before, and if I were to choose, it's much easier to handle clients who talk your ear off when angry. People like her are the hardest to read. Beside me, I shoot Rose a pleading look. She returns it with a glare before taking the reins from me and attempting to smooth out the situation. There's a promise in it that we will be talking about this later, and I'm not looking forward to that at all. What can I do? She can deal with this better than me. Who knows what might come out of my mouth if I handle this on my own.
We're really sorry, ma'am. My partner's probably still a bit winded from her fall.
She's probably also still, a bit, her brain's a bit muddy, a bit muddled.
If she's unwell, then she shouldn't be working here right now.
Jeez, Marianne. I don't know why you're so cold to Isabella all the time. Although, granted, I guess in this case it is a little warranted. She raises a hand to rub the side of her temple as if to stave off the beginnings of a headache.
Never mind that. I just want to know what's going on here.
I thought my client already owns this house and my services are needed.
Perhaps there's been a confusion then. We haven't heard anything from our supervisors regarding a closed deal for this property yet. In fact, today's only the first day of our open house. If you wish, we can call them and confirm for you.
Yeah, that is real weird on Hannah and Luke's part. Like, I get that they're trying to rush this buying process as much as possible, but to, like, have Marianne come out the day that they're touring the house?
That wouldn't be necessary, but thank you for being direct with me, Miss Cooper. I already thought something was a little odd earlier.
What with me almost having relations with one of my, the people employing me.
If you'll excuse me, I need to talk to my secretary.
With a slight wave of her hand, she leaves us. That seems to be the end of it. Both Rose and I breathe a sigh of relief. Disaster averted. Still, I've already prepared myself to dial the number to our Luxmore office and check, even if she didn't ask for it. I will be very frustrated if, for some reason, something has already been decided without my or Rose's knowledge. That's a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. Moments later, Miss McCulloch returns, looking a little frustrated, but with an apology clear on her face. I feel a little sorry for her having to go through all this trouble.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here. I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Certainly. You could stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive. And, Isabella, I left a few documents in my car.
Yeah,
You know
I think we're back to where... Ah! Alright, so Hannah and Luke
Mom,
come.
you
We'll start
haven't
the tour.
finalized anything with an agent yet.
Whoop. Take a look at our quick pick. Okay.
I would really advise against making plans this early when...
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything.
The best lawyers money can buy.
Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
Like the whole haunted atmosphere, we're really looking to go for something different. The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, 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 let these guys be the one. Alright, so we head to the parlor here. And I believe this is the part... Well, okay, we'll let it get to it. I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCulloch, who only looks away with a sigh.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful.
But what's this? In the pile? Uh-oh. It's the letter for some stupid reason. This letter and those blood-soaked limbs in the attic. It's real.
The letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. And last time, we chose to show the letter to Rose because I thought it would be better for people to know, but this time we're gonna not show Rose the letter.
Rose,
Marianne likes that. The words are stuck in my throat. I want to tell her, I really do. But is she gonna believe me? She already dismissed me earlier. It's a concussion, she said. It's not. There really is something in this house, in that attic, in that letter. It's going to go after us. Please believe me.
dear me, is Isabella all right?
Ma'am, Hannah's voice breaks through the haze, beginning to cloud my mind. Rose is looking down at me, worry etched on her features. I didn't even notice when she removed the wrinkled paper from my hands and pushed me down to sit on a nearby chair. From the edge of my vision, I can also make out Miss McCulloch asking a passing food server for a glass of water. Through it all, Mr. Wright stands at the sidelines. Although curious, he appears more inclined to watch the scene than help. they are all as likely to believe me as Rose does. So this is interesting too, because this time, like, last time when we showed the letter, Luke was the one who sort of took an active interest in what was going on, and this time when we don't, it's Hannah that steps up. To everyone, whatever's in this house is just a hoax, a cautionary tale for children.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
She offers me a drink, but I push it away. I need nothing. I need to get out of here before I cause an even bigger commotion. Clear my head, take a breath of fresh air, anything to take my mind off things. No one is gonna believe me anyway.
No, I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me. I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. Doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. Well, I mean, that's kind of understandable. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face, because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
Hey, I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Like I ruined everything for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day.
And so this actually will be a good test to find out the thing that we were wondering at the very end of the first playthrough, which is the letter the thing that is causing the curse or the deaths, or is it something else? Because this time we have not shown Rose the letter, so if Rose still dies, like I'm pretty sure she probably will, then we can know that that had nothing to do with the letter.
And look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off, before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it nevertheless, more as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can. But I have this nagging feeling that, one way or another, it'll find its way back to me regardless of what I do about it. Why do you make this assumption?
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. And we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. But...
Whoops.
I think...
It's like we're winning the lottery.
Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
It's bottom shape, Belle. My mind stops.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
Alright, have we seen this? Yeah, we have. Okay. So, yep, we call Ash, then turns out Ash is here. We hear that excellent ringtone. Ash takes us out, gives us an energy bar. Why of all times did I have to screw up like that? In front of an important customer, no less. I owe Rose a big apology. I hope she likes free donuts.
You don't seem too happy about it.
Okay, so last time we changed the subject. This... Oh no, I just realized that now... This means we're probably going to have a terrible relationship with Ash because we're going to do all the opposite things. Time to lie to Ash. I turn my eyes back to the passing view outside. Oh. Maybe if I remain quiet long enough, he'll get a hint.
Seriously, what happened?
You're already assuming something happened.
I'm not. It's what you said earlier, and that's why I'm asking. What did they do?
They didn't do anything, all right? It's nothing. Work's just been stressful. My boss has been in a bad mood lately over a lost sale. Preparing everything for the open house has been tiring.
I mean, this is like a half-truth, right?
And then there's the tour. You've seen how big the place is.
I wish he'd just drop the subject and be done with it. It's not like he'll do something if I tell him. Well, he will, but just like 2 weeks too late. Outside, the sun has already started its descent, casting a vibrant orange glow on the tall buildings. I wonder how long before we reach the movie house. Zach's been pretty excited about his movie. I'd hate to ruin that for him. But right now, I just want the day to be over.
Just so you know, people we interrogate often avoid our eyes when they're hiding something.
Alright, detective.
I'm not hiding anything.
I didn't say you were.
Then why are you still asking about it?
That's such a crappy god.
Your face is a lot more expressive than you think.
Can you
Then you
please just
thin?
drop it?
My voice comes out harsher than I've intended, and I immediately regret having taken that tone on him. As one would expect, Ash is taken aback, but recovers quickly. An uncomfortable silence settles in the car, while I find myself wishing I hadn't snapped at him like that. Stupid, stupid, stupid Isabella. It's the first time in months you get to spend time with your friends, and you're already messing things up.
Sorry. I didn't mean to yell.
He responds with nothing more than a nod, and I take that as a way of dropping the topic. For now, if the way his jaw tightens is a sign of what he still thinks about the matter. I just hope I can give him a proper answer next time. Time passes quickly between us in this manner, and before I know it, we're already at the movie house. Alright, so we meet up with Zach, we get an introduction there, we meet up with Becca, and then, whoops, we accidentally show them the letter, and then we have to try to explain that, and they're kind of not buying it at all. Last time, we stayed for the movie, because we wanted to have that movie night, dang it. But this time, maybe it'd be better to go home. I know I'm being selfish, but if I stay, I'm only getting in the way. Yeah. So, we're gonna have a great relationship with Becca, but, everyone else, I don't know. Can't look Zach in the eye when my excuses come tumbling out of my mouth.
I'm sorry. Today's not a good day for a movie night out. I think I'll pass. Enjoy, you guys.
Isabella, wait!
I leave without another word, one step after another, as fast as my own 2 feet can take me away from them. Becca calls after me again. Zach and Ash do too, but their voices become lost in the hustle and bustle of the afternoon crowd. It's strange to walk home like this, to bump shoulders with people you don't know. I felt the same way years ago. Fresh off the boat in a foreign land, with no one else to depend on, I won't deny that I was nervous. Now? Well, it's not every day that you get into an argument with your friends. Not every day that they won't believe you, even if you're telling the truth. It feels like a betrayal of sorts. It leaves you hollow. And in this faceless city, it's impossible not to feel alone after. The sun has already set by the time I reach the comfort of my own room. Okay. On my phone, there are 4 messages waiting to be read. 3 from Zach and a lone voicemail from Ash. Becca will probably drop by later to check on me and to say the same thing these messages likely contain. Yet I can't bring myself to open or listen to any of them, much less look forward to anyone's visit. So without taking another glance at it, I slide my phone back to my bag and flop down on my bed, allowing the heavy feeling in my chest to finally pull me into an uneasy sleep. Perhaps tomorrow would be better. But perhaps not. I can't remember if we've seen this before or not. Yeah, okay, we have. Alright, so wake up, we have a talk with Mama. That sort of gives us background on their relationship. We head to work, where we find out that basically this sale is going down. She welcomes me with a bright smile, her movements more open than what one would typically expect from a passing client to have. Yeah, so last time Hannah hated us because Luke had kind of flirted with us, and she was not having any of that. But this time, great.
Oh, Isabel. How are you feeling? You looked awfully dreadful yesterday.
Isabella, I'm fine now, ma'am. I appreciate your concern.
I really don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name, shouldn't be too hard to remember. Regardless, I hand them their copy of the agreement.
Wonderful. Your team works unbelievably fast.
Ma'am Hannah skims through each of them with a scrutinizing eye, checking every page for any inconsistencies and errors. Despite the unassuming impression she gives off, she appears fully aware of what to look for, and the process contracts like these undergoes. It is surprising, to be quite honest. Haven't pegged her for someone who's well-versed in these things, yet here she is. She knows some of it, she shows some of it to her husband, and he responds with the same passive interest as if he's more than happy to leave everything to her. I can't tell if it's purely because he believes she's capable enough, doesn't care about what they're buying, or he simply finds paperwork tedious.
Love, wouldn't it be better if we handled it ourselves? A personal touch of sorts. It is our housewarming party and our new home.
No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course.
What kind of unexpected
I know both of
delay?
you worked hard on getting us this beautiful mansion.
So, I put in a little bonus for you because I like you better this
Did
time.
I mention we reward our people generously?
But this is... Ma'am, I can't accept this.
Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us.
We could have been a lot more generous and chose not to.
Consider this your
Bonus for a job well done.
Alright, so then Rose tells us to live it up. We go
I
to the
thought for
cafe.
sure you were going to snub us for the better part of the week.
Okay, Becca! Jesus Christ! You like the fact that we went home, you jerk.
You know, I can't stay angry at you guys. I was upset. I still am. But, well, something did happen this morning. Let's order food first, okay?
Alright. So last time I said my instant noodle days are over to celebrate the fact that I made a lot of money. This time, Ash is not here, so we should celebrate.
Let me do that again.
Yeah, this is a joke that no one likes.
We should celebrate because Ash Hole is totally missing out on my first treat ever.
I'm sure Ash has his reasons.
He hasn't even apologized for calling me a scaredy cat yesterday.
A half-hearted complaint without any meaning to it, done more out of a habit than with any real malice or hatred to it. After all the times he's called me a scaredy cat, the word itself has completely lost its meaning. Imagine that. There's disappointment, of course, in knowing he's off who knows where while we're having fun here. Sheesh, don't just disappear off the face of the planet without telling anyone.
You aren't really upset about that, are you?
No, not really. But it's his loss for missing this once-in-a-century event.
He did seem to be in a hurry when we parted last night after the movie. Said he got a big lead on his case.
You know, you're kind of being a huge D-bag, Isabella.
We never had the chance to talk much yesterday, but you know how he is about his work. Everything except his unholy love for bad puns is a secret.
He never mentioned those to me.
I ain't surprised. He's more tight-lipped with this one. Something about it being bigger than what they usually let him handle.
Don't worry, Becca. I'll make him talk.
It's not necessary. He'll talk when he wants.
I'd prefer you two talk less, actually.
And if what Zack says is true, it's better if we keep our noses out of this. His job isn't exactly a walk in the park. We'll only get in the way if we pester him about it.
Well, he better treat us to something other than ice cream once he solves that one. That's Scrooge.
But that's not really why you asked us out, right?
She dishes at our food with her hand, as though it's something she's not willing to touch until I give her answers.
I promised I'd treat you to a free lunch if the mansion got sold, yeah?
Dirty money. Understanding dawns on her face. The bewildered look she's been sporting changes into something close to delight.
You should have just told us. No need for all this fancy, secrety stuff.
It was supposed to be a surprise. I made a promise, didn't I?
I wasn't expecting you'd really do it.
Well, it's already here. If you don't want to eat it, I'll just...
I begin to gather their plates to my side, the food still untouched. A laugh almost escapes my mouth the way Zachary's expression quickly changes to disappointment. Becca's hand interrupts me just about as I'm about to pull her plate closer to me.
No. Please, leave it, ma'am. We're simply humbled by your utmost generosity, considering you're as much of a Scrooge as Ashton.
Don't compare me to him. He's the one who looks like he's about to have an episode whenever he has to spend more than £5.
I honestly wish there's a way for you to see the look on your face when you haggle. Reminded me to record it once. I think it's something like this.
Yeah, give it to me, Becca. She puffs her cheeks and furrows her eyebrows in imitation of how I supposedly appear. I don't look like that at all. Do I? She drops the act as the flat look I shoot her. Her laughter dies, but the playful gleam in her eyes remains.
This means you're gonna be okay now, yeah?
For a while. It just means we won't have to worry about paying for the treatment and the bills. But that's all that matters, right?
Right?
I mean, we're not yet sure if the new medication will produce... And with the money, I'm sure it's just a matter of time.
Saying it this way sounds as if I'm trying to convince myself. But no matter what, I allow myself to smile, genuine and uninhibited. It's strange talking about this with other people, even those who have known you long enough. But today, things simply feel a whole lot lighter with them here. Lunch passes in an enjoyable fashion. So we talk about the movie with Zach, I believe. And yep, then we get our scare there as we're walking outside. I get freaked out, come back. The abrupt break in the silence nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Okay. Frowning, I take a quick look at the clock on my bedside table. It's late. No one usually visits me around this hour, except maybe for...
Isabella? Are you in there?
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think we ever had this. Her tone is tentative, unsure, testing whether I'll respond or not. Any other day, she'll just enter the room after one knock. Today I think she's trying to be considerate. She knows I'm in here, and she can easily go inside since I've given her a copy of my key years ago, purely on her insistence, of course, after she saw the state of my room. In her own words, like a hurricane passed through the place. Ever since, she'll drop by from time to time, either to share whatever she just up, or help me clean. She knocks again, louder this time, albeit the kind with less urgency. I take that as my cue to answer the door. Alright, well, I think we're gonna pause here then for today, but we've already... I mean, we gotta be at least halfway. Right? Yep. Yeah, we're now hitting a completely new little chain down here. And, yeah, so pretty much guaranteed tomorrow we'll probably, find a new end for Isabella, which I'm not super looking forward to seeing, but we'll see what happens. Till then, this has been Downstage Gaming. I've been your host, Josh, and I will catch you all next time.